Oh boy, so I was minding my own business and I hopped onto Twitter to check my feed to find out what you guys were cooking in the anime community as of recently. I saw a tweet about who'd won a fight between Boruto and Deku. I was like, cool, it's pretty obvious, but let's see what people have to say about it anyway. It turns out that you guys weren't cooking. Like, what was I seeing? Anyway, that stuff inspired me to do this video. It definitely wasn't because I was paid to do it or anything. It was of my own free will, right? Now, Boruto vs Deku isn't your ordinary debate. It's new gen versus new gen. It's mid versus mid, so there's a lot of beef, as you can imagine. To be honest, that isn't true, don't grill me. I think both are really good anime, I think both are really good anime protagonists, but undeniably, both of their fanbases suck. Even worse than that, some of you guys need to be educated by the GOAT, yes, the Skyfather, King Bullet. I'm here to lay out the facts and determine who wins, because I'm gonna be honest with you guys, this fight isn't close, at all. But before I explain why, go like the video, go subscribe, because I don't need a reason, just do it. Thank you very much. So getting into this, Deku was a quirkless kid who was gifted the strongest quirk one for all by the strongest hero, All Might. Deku's power over the years have grown to the point that he even rivals his mentor, All Might. The point is, Deku is strong, no matter how much he cries. Even with a decent percentage of his power, Deku alongside Bakugo dispersed a supercell storm which outsized even an island. Yes, an entire island. Which isn't even much of a task for Deku. If he wanted to, he could probably destroy a country, but this isn't exactly his limit. At 100%, Deku is vastly stronger to the point that his punches can break off All For One Shigaraki's jaw. Shigaraki at this point is said to be as durable as All Might, so without a doubt, Deku has finally reached his mentor's level. In fact, Shigaraki can take hits from a hero called Star and Stripe. She used an attack called Hypersonic Intercontinental Cruise to hit Shigaraki. It honestly sounds like an attack that one of you guys made up, but I digress. Anyway, it caused a giant explosion that vaporized a lot of water and shook even the ocean, leaving a giant crater in the middle of the ocean floor. While it might be natural to assume that this attack can destroy continents because of its name, we can't just assume that's automatically true. Like, is Vegeta's Big Bang attack at the level of the real Big Bang, back at the beginning of Dragon Ball Z? Probably not. You see what I mean? We can't just go off the name of things. Although it might influence a lot of things. So is there another way to determine how strong the attack is? There actually is, thanks to the magic of math and calculation. I know you guys don't like this stuff, but considering that the Star and Stripe vs Shigaraki fight was said to have taken place 50 kilometers from Japan, and we know that the ocean depth of Japan's coastal area is around 1 kilometer, assuming that the explosion happened at a high hypersonic speed, I'm not just using the name, that's how fast explosions are usually anyway. This feat gave off the energy equivalent of destroying an entire country. So I really wasn't kidding about Deku being able to destroy countries, or at least be able to harm characters who can do that stuff. But Deku is even stronger than this feat, since he can push himself further with the quirks of the past one-for-all users. One example of this is Far Jin, which allows Deku to build up kinetic energy and release it in quick bursts to increase his power and speed. At 100% with Far Jin, Deku could replicate the power and speed of a Prime All Might, so that's how strong Deku is. Now we know how strong he is, how fast is it? Well, speed-wise, like his other classmates, Deku should easily be able to react to Ayamu's lasers. Lasers are generally considered to travel at light speed, and Ayamas have a similar property to real-life lasers since they can reflect off metal and mirrors the same way light beams can. Now, some of you might be wondering, how can Ayama's beams be light speed if it took him a few seconds to cover 100 meters at the beginning of a series? While this is a good question, you have to consider the fact that he was only using the beam to propel himself, meaning that his beam actually pushed him, and he wasn't using the speed of the actual beam to move. So depending on Ayama's weight, it could have slowed down the beam drastically. To back Deku's speed up and prove that it's light speed, we know he's capable of dodging Nine's lasers while using no more than 20%, and he should be that fast considering at 20% he's close in power and speed to pretty much everybody else in his class who can react to lasers and light beams, etc. So at 100%, Deku should be 5 times faster than what he is at 20% obviously, making him comfortably faster than the speed of light multiple times over. Now that should wrap up Deku's power scaling section, so we can move on to Boruto now. Boruto, as many of you know, is the son of the Hokage Naruto Uzumaki. He has the Hyuga and Uzumaki genetics, making him automatically strong. He has this insane potential. Despite being a genin, Boruto is clearly above that level, and is actually considered to be this alien god slayer after defeating Momoshiki Otsutsuki. It was mainly because of a Jogan eye that seemed to shoot his power level into another stratosphere. Like, literally. However, Boruto consistently proves that he can beat some of the weaker Kara members, who Sasuke even believes to be Otsutsuki level, but once Boruto gains the karma from Momoshiki, Boruto slowly becomes an Otsutsuki. Boruto, who has 100% fully extracted Momoshiki's data and is a 100% Otsutsuki now, should be at least as strong as him. Inside Boruto's mind space, we see Momoshiki, who seemingly is in his base form. So if Boruto can draw upon his power, he should be as strong as base form Momoshiki at the bare minimum. But how strong is Momoshiki? If you take into consideration the canon novels which are connected to the main timeline, base Momoshiki is considered a threat to Kaguya, and Momoshiki is also said to have also caused a supernova. In fact, his nickname is Momoshiki Devourer of Stars. I'm not joking. And before people jump on my ass saying that actually the correct translation is he's a devourer of planets, no, in this specific case, is referring to him causing this sun to die, making it undergo this supernova as mentioned slightly earlier. The scary thing is Boruto drawing upon this power is combined with his own power. So he's using Momoshiki like a Jinchuriki would use a Biju. Jinchuriki are said to be stronger than their individual Biju since they're fusing their powers together, so he's becoming an amp in a way. So Boruto might be drastically stronger than Momoshiki if you use that logic. Momoshiki plus Boruto should be a greater combination than Momoshiki plus Kinshiki, technically. Especially if you think Boruto is stronger than Kinshiki, which I think he should be, in all fairness. Since even the 5 Kage were capable of competing with Kinshiki, and Boruto should be much stronger, at least individually, than the 5 Kage. Meaning that Boruto should be stronger than the fused Momoshiki, at least when at full power, as Boroshiki. Although he was considered weaker than this Rinnegan Sasuke, Boruto would get significantly stronger. So this wasn't like the peak of his power. He achieved true essence, which would allow him to pull upon more of Momoshiki's vast combat skills and power. And while in his form he completely dogged Code, despite Code having his limiters on at the time, Kawaki considered this Code stronger than Delta. Code also believes this, since he thought that he could take down Naruto on his own, thinking that he was stronger than Delta. And we all know Delta was capable of pushing a 6 Pops Kurama mode Naruto into using his full power Taijutsu, apparently. I'm not saying this was Naruto at his full power using his Kurama avatar, but it was definitely him using his Taijutsu to the maximum limit, as stated in the manga and promotional material. When it comes to speed, Boruto in his base form can react to mirror drones and their lasers. Since Karma increases his speed drastically, he becomes drastically faster than lasers, the same way Deku does. At full power, he should be faster than Momoshiki, who is at least faster than the fastest characters in Naruto Shippuden, like Kaguya. Since even most Kage, like the Raikage, is said to be light speed, which is pretty consistent with them throwing punches during Mabui's material transfer, which, surprise surprise, is said to happen at light speeds, would make the Raikage light speed. His lariat, like I said earlier, is stated light speed. Anyway, Kurama Chakra Mode Naruto is way faster than the Raikage. Naruto then gains all of Kurama's power, adds Sage Mode, gains 6 Paths power, and is still slower than Kaguya. So this just tells us how much stronger Otsutsuki are than just ordinary Kage. Which makes sense since they're alien space gods who travel throughout the universe at extraordinary speeds. They don't just necessarily rely on teleportation, but they can fly as well, right? We do see characters like Urashiki flying throughout space. So Momoshiki is definitely meant to be around that level. So imagine how unfathomably fast Boruto is, who can use Momoshiki's speed. Without a doubt, Deku gets folded into a pretzel by Boruto with minimal difficulty. No disrespect, come on, like who even asked this shit? Deku is out here struggling to beat weather-changing criminals, and Boruto's out here beating up alien space gods who are devouring suns. You see what I mean? Seems like there's a level gap, right? Even if you grant 100% Deku beyond light speed, or even slightly faster, Boruto in his base form should be as equally fast, at least, bare minimum, if not way faster. Think about it, it's not like Boruto's way slower than Momoshiki. If anything, he was able to keep up with him, granted he was using Jogan. But Momoshiki isn't a joke. To even be a threat to Kaguya, he's gotta be at least around the same speed as her to even hit her, right? Is Deku outspeeding Kaguya or Team Naruto? Probably not. Although Deku has some interesting abilities like flight, since he can hop in air, Boruto has more natural flight and can make shadow clones, so I think Boruto probably even takes the skill argument as well. Ultimately, Boruto wins this fight and it's not even close. Even if you lowball Boruto and say he's only like planet level or something, which come on, he's gotta be at least planet level, right? Boruto should easily win this fight. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and learned something new regardless of if you disagree with me or not. You shouldn't really disagree with me, but if you do, you can join my Discord and talk to me about it, explain to me why I'm wrong if you want, that's up to you. But if you did learn something, or you just enjoyed the video, it'd be much appreciated if you could like the video, maybe even subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Peace out.